In League of Legends, there's a massive amount of items. This video goes over all the attack damage, critical strike items, and when you should consider buying them. Champions that tend to buy these items are ones that rely on their auto attacks or have abilities which can benefit from critical strike. Your mythic item choices are Gale Force, Kraken Slayer, and Shield Bow, all of which grant attack damage, attack speed, and crit strike chance. Gale Force provides an activatable dash which will deal execute damage to the lowest health enemy nearby. The mythic passive grants additional movement speed, so consider this if you want the mobility. Kraken Slayer makes every third attack deal true damage, and the mythic passive gives you additional attack speed, so consider this when you want tons of damage. And Shield Bow gives lifesteal and grants a shield when you go below 30% health, with a mythic passive granting attack damage and health, so consider this when you want more survivability. Next we have Infedge and Quickblades, which are critical strike amplifiers, with both items granting a massive amount of attack damage and crit strike chance. As long as you have 40% crit strike chance, Infedge makes your critical strikes deal massively more damage, so buy this item when you want tons of damage. Alternatively, Quickblades grants ability haste and makes your attacks reduce your basic abilities cooldowns and your abilities deal more damage, scaling with crit strike chance. So if your abilities synergize well with crit strike chance, this is a great pickup. Following this we have the main core of attack damage crit items with Bloodthirster, Essence Reaver, Stormrazor, and the Collector. All of these grant attack damage and critical strike chance. Bloodthirster gives lifesteal and the ability to gain a shield when you overheal, so should be considered when you want additional survivability. Essence Reaver gives you ability haste, makes your attack after using the ability deal more damage, and also restores mana. You should consider this if you're a mana hungry champion wanting to use abilities. Stormrazor gets you attack speed and allows you to charge up an attack which deals damage and slows a target. Consider this if you want the additional utility from the slow. And the Collector provides additional lethality, and if you damage an enemy below 5% health they are immediately executed. Consider this if you want tons of damage. Next we have the armor penetration items with Lord Doms and Mortal Reminder. These items grant attack damage, armor penetration, and critical strike chance. Lord Doms has a passive where you deal additional damage against champions with more health than you, so you should consider this if you want to cut through tanks. Mortal Reminder allows you to apply grievous wounds which reduce the enemy's healing, so consider this if your team needs this utility. Following this we have Mercurial Scimitar, which grants attack damage, critical strike chance, and magic resist. This builds out of the Quicksilver Sash, which brings an active ability of cleansing crowd control. You want to build this if you need to avoid being CC'd, and is often built against champions like Mordekaiser and Malzahar to escape their ultimates. After this we have the attack speed critical strike items with Phantom Dancer, Rapid Fire Cannon, and Runan's Hurricane, all of which grant attack speed, critical strike chance, and movement speed. Phantom Dancer also provides attack damage and allows you to stack movement speed, and when fully stacked you get even more attack speed. You should consider this when you want tons of single target damage and mobility. Rapid Fire Cannon allows you to charge up an attack which has a massively increased range and does additional damage. You should consider this if you want to play safer. And Runan's Hurricane gives you an on-hit effect where with every attack it shoots out 2 additional bolts which deal damage. And as these bolts also apply on-hit effects, this is great on champions that want to teamfight often and apply additional on-hit effects. And it's worth talking about Rageblade, which grants attack speed and critical strike chance. This item converts critical strike chance into attack damage and can make on-hit effects trigger multiple times by accumulating stacks. This is often built on champions which can apply incredibly powerful on-hit effects like Vayne's Silver Bolt and Callista Spears. And in addition we have Wits End, which is often brought alongside this, with it granting attack damage, attack speed, and magic resistance, with a passive which makes attacks apply additional on-hit damage and grant movement speed. Even though it doesn't have crit, it should be considered with on-hit effect builds.